Good evening, once again, good evening everyone. Welcome to the day 43 of our UGC-NET Paper I class. In today's class, we are continuing with the Unit 9 from yesterday's session. So, these are the topics we are going to cover in today's class. So, one more thing, actually, this is somewhat a familiar topic where all of us might have come across at least once in from our school age till the college, even till right now. So I have skipped all the common aspects which we might have come across throughout our various stages of life. So I have only given the other unknown factors or less known factors relevant to this topic in the slides. So you might for certain topics there won't be much information, and certain topics might have some new information. Still, if you are not satisfied with the slides or having any kind of trouble or doubts, you can contact me. So let's proceed with the class. So from yesterday we have seen about all those factors. No? So here see the anthropogenic activities and their impacts on environment. This is somewhat relevant to the yesterday's topics, or more of a continuation. So environmental issues. What are all the environmental issues? So first of all, what is environmental issue? So environmental issues refers to problems in the natural environment caused by human activities or natural process that affect ecosystems, biodiversity, health and sustainability. So these issues are multiscalar. So they might start as a small local problem like deforestation or pollution, which might have regional and global consequences. So effective environmental protection requires a coordinated response at all three levels through awareness, policy making, enforcement and sustainable practices. So I think everyone might have knowledge about Amazon forests. So it is a very large forest with various kinds of species residing there. So the Amazon River houses the around I think 6,000 kilometers. There is a debate between Nile and Amazon, which is the longest river in the world. Still, some say it is the longest. Amazon is the longest, and some say Nile is the longest. But both are interchanging themselves with the first and second places. So that big of a river. So once I saw a YouTube video where there was a question aroused in that video, that is the majority part of Africa is desert. That is a very large amount of solar energy is there. So why can't we place the solar cells throughout the major portions of the desert, covering almost the most part of the continent? In that way, we might have the the solar energy, and we can increase the power energy production in all ways. But why haven't they done that? So in that video, they have demonstrated animation kind of video. In that, what they are saying is, every year the storms, that is wind storms, not thunderstorms, all those things, wind storms, the air, wind, all those things, they carry the sand from the soil from the deserts of Africa across the ocean of Atlantic Ocean towards the Amazon forest by causing heavy rainfall there. So if we are going to place solar panels throughout the African continent, then we at the large scale deprive the transformation or transflow of the soil from the African continent. Hence, we are inadvertently affecting the rainfall in the Amazon forest at some point, more like a chain reaction. The Amazon forest would become desert at the same time due to the resistance of our the same storing of the soil in the African continent. The desert, particular desert, would become rainforest. So this is the simple example where a small significant action could cause a major catastrophe across the world. And see, nowadays even certain movies and TV series and all focusing on this kind of topic. I don't know, have you guys watched about Bedia in the Hindi movie? So it is more about a werewolf. The main concept of the movie is construction of a highway by destroying a forest. So there, instead of destroying the forest, in the end they will circumvent the forest. That is, outside the forest they will put on the highway without destroying the forest. Even in Tamil, the web series Inspector Rishi, it is indirectly focusing on the significance or importance of the forest life, that biodiversity. So these are the, though many movies and series, everything coming, we are in a way destroying many or creating many environmental issues. So first, local environmental issues, the common, which is immediate to us, which and all would be the problem. The same problem need not to be a major problem in a different district or different town, but it would be the common problem in the local area. So for example, you might talk about that Thoothukudi incident, no, where I think Sterlite factory. So that environmental issue was pertaining to that particular region, or particular local area. So what is the bigger problem there? We might not directly get affected by that if we are in the outside area of that particular affected area. So local environmental issue is that are confined to a small geographic area, such as a town, village, city, or industrial zone. So these can often be addressed through municipal or district level governance. So they have, since they have confined to a specific community or area, they can be directly managed at the basic local government itself. So here they have given some examples. Air pollution due to traffic congestion in cities like Bangalore, Delhi, even Chennai also. The traffic congestion creates very much heavy air pollution, which endangers the people living there. So, but that particular air pollution is caused in that particular city only. So that is a local environmental issue. Next, groundwater contamination from pesticide use, improper disposal of solid waste, noise pollution from local industries or construction. So these are the local environmental issues. Now, regional environmental issues. They, see here, these particular issues span across states, districts, or an entire region of ecosystem. Even I think you might have heard about the region where we are naming, like Tondai Nadu, Soar Nadu, Kongu Nadu, like that. If we are talking about Kongu Nadu, we are talking about the districts of Coimbatore, Ooty, that is Udagamandalam, and then Nilgiris district, then Tirupur district, Erode district. So this particular area comprises of 4 to 5 districts. We are talking, when we are mentioning, if we are mentioning Kongu area, these regions are coming under Kongu area. Now, like Soda area, like Pandian area, and then there are certain regions. No, these regions comprises of certain number of districts or cities, so that they are collectively forming a particular region. Here, any issue arised in the regional level, not pertaining to or confining to one particular city or village, rather they are confined to the whole region. So see here, deforestation in the Western Ghats or the Amazon rainforest. So I think now in Amazon rainforest, most of the places has been destroyed. I don't know how updated are you guys about that matter, but there are so many deforestation happening in that area, due to which the overall global rainfall itself got affected. Next, acid rain from industrial emissions affecting nearby regions. Then river pollution from upstream industries affecting downstream states. So for example, if industry is located at the upstream position of the particular river, then they are they are pushing that their own industry waste into the river. Then the whole flow, that is the downstream flow of the river, the regions associated with that region or with the downstream, they all get affected because of that. So here the river bed itself a region is considered as a region. So these are the regional environmental issues. Now comes the global environmental issues. So global issues transcend national boundaries and affect the entire earth. So in order to contain this, since this is a large scale, they require international cooperation, treaties and long-term commitment from all nations. These transcend national boundaries and affect the entire planet. So they are given here: ozone layer depletion, then marine plastic pollution, and then climate change and global warming. So these are the common things. Due to global warming, many ice glaciers from Antarctica is melting, so that the sea level is rising, and there is a possibility that many regions closer to the sea area would be wiped out. So these are the global environmental issues. Next is the pollution. Before getting into the different kinds of pollution, so what is pollution? Here, pollution refers to the introduction of harmful substances or agents, that is known as pollutants, into the environment that cause adverse changes to air, water, soil or living organisms. So it is a major environmental issue that affects public health, ecosystem balance and economic productivity. So how we can tackle air pollution? It requires scientific innovations. Nowadays, e-bikes and e-vehicles are proposed as an alternative for reducing the carbon emissions from the petroleum driven vehicles. But there are certain other issues which are being raised there. Why? What is known as how that particular electricity charge for that particular vehicle is produced. So there is a certain somewhat problematic area is happening around that concept. Next, strong regulatory frameworks, and then public awareness and global cooperation for sustainable development. So now, air pollution. Air pollution is the presence of harmful substance in the Earth's atmosphere in quantities that are dangerous to human health, plants, animals and the environment. So simply, our breathing air itself could be somewhat troublesome. It is polluted, which might deem to be not sufficient or improper for the sustaining of life. So it affects health, economy, agriculture and climate, making it a top priority for sustainable development and environmental governance. So again, similarly, this also requires policy action, technological innovation for tackling them. So now, types of air pollutants. Actually, see, air pollution is caused by the pollutants. So see, note here, harmful substances, that is pollutions. In that itself, there are different types of air pollutants. So primary air pollutants, secondary air pollutants. So what are primary? They are emitted directly into the air, whereas secondary is formed in the atmosphere. Now see, primary pollutants, what and all we are emitting. These emissions at the maximum, we as a humans are emitting them by our own actions. Still, there are certain volcanic emissions and other changes, they are getting emitted naturally also. So first is carbon monoxide, next sulfur dioxide, and then nitrogen oxides, particulate matter. So here PM 2.5, PM 10, and then volatile organic compounds. What is the secondary pollutants? That is ozone. So formed when volatile compounds and nitrogen oxides reach at the sunlight. Next, para-oxyacetyl nitrate, component of photochemical smog. Smog is the mixture of fog, smoke and chemicals. So பனி சமயத்துல நம்மளுக்கு பனி படுறது மாதிரி இருக்கிறதுல some of the chemicals and புகை, any kind of smoke mix ஆகுதுன்னா that is known as smog. It is very injurious to our health. So air quality index, this is the determinant factor for the very good sustainable lifestyle. So AQI range 0 to 50 means they come under good category. So then health impact should be minimal impact, and then 51 to 100 satisfactory. So these are the, see here, from 0 to it goes up to 500. And so most of the cities where they have pollution problem, they mostly come under either these two. To some extent, at some point of time, they have reached in between this also. So these are the very dangerous things which we strive to maintain the our own lifestyle without damaging the pollution or without damaging the environment. So yesterday we have seen sustainable environment, that is utilizing the resources, current resources, without damaging the future usage of that particular resources. So next is water pollution. So similar to air pollution, this is also a prime problem that is existing in various parts of the countries in and around the world. So water pollution is a critical environmental and public health issue. So this demands multi-level interventions involving government policy, industrial responsibility, community participation and international cooperation. So I think you guys might have watched the movie Sardar. Though it is not directly related to the water pollution thing, still you might identify the how water involves the deciding authority of any political power in a country. So that's how, see, based on my previous experiences and many videos, learnings, all those things, water, dairy, and then nowadays even air also, the people who control these three, they would become the superpower in any part of the world, not just country. So that's why these are the very hard raw cutting problems that directly affects our lives, like air pollution and water pollution. Some other pollutions might not affect us directly, but these things affect us very directly. So water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, that is lakes, rivers, oceans, aquifers and groundwater, due to the discharge of harmful substances that degrade the quality of water, making it unsafe for drinking, bathing, irrigation or aquatic life. So types of water pollution: surface water pollution, groundwater pollution, point source pollution, non-point source pollution, thermal pollution, oil pollution. So surface water pollution means if we are dumping our waste into the river or littering, so that is putting the, what to say, that dustbin waste and all in the water areas. So that is surface water pollution. Groundwater pollution is due to continuous drilling and all those activities, the emission of methane and other such chemicals as well as fertilizers, the groundwater gets affected. That is groundwater pollution. Point source pollution means a pollution, that water pollution that occurs due to a single point source. That is, a single company is processing their waste into the riverbed. So only that particular company is pushing the water or polluting the water. That is point source, a single point. So point source pollution. If there are multiple sources are affecting the riverbed, then it is non-point source pollution. Then thermal pollution. This could happen due to the volcanic, volcanic eruptions and all any other activity related to such kind of increasing the ground level heat, all those things. So that is the thermal pollution. Last is oil pollution. So that is mixture of oils in the water. So there are so many leakages, all those things. Now we have seen a ship containing oil is broken down. The particular area of sea itself get affected. Sea life, fish, everything was problematic. So that is oil pollution. So what are the major water pollutants? First is pathogens. So pathogens is, that is simply microbacteria, viruses, all those things. Then organic waste, where we are even fruits, vegetables, we are that peeling of the vegetables, onions and all. If we are dumping it in the water areas, then that is organic waste. Next, nutrients. So some kind of nutrients which we might, even the food sources, that is even we can say, like when we do the rituals in Indian countries, we do the ritual and we are just placing all those things in the water bodies. No, that might also consider as organic waste as well as nutrients. Then toxic chemicals, sediments, thermal pollution. Sediments is, so due to the continuous accumulation of various diluting bodies, even mud also, soil also, they could be considered as sediments. So at some point, that particular sediment would change the nature or property of that particular water body. So these are the major water pollutants. Similar to air quality index, here also water quality parameters are there. So this particularly according to Indian standards as well as World Health Organization, WHO. So pH value should be 6.5 to 8.5, neither less nor greater. Dissolved oxygen should be greater than 5 mg per liter for aquatic life. Then biochemical oxygen demand, that should be less than 3 mg per liter for clean water. And then total dissolved solids. See here. So here solids means, now let us assume nama vitla pillar pidithal saaniye karaikironla. So that could be considered as a solid. So when you are dissolving that particular solids, that is karaikiringala, that karaithal, it should have less than 500 mg per liter. See, all these things are in mg, that is milligram. So less than 500 mg per liter of potable water. Then coliform count, that is 0 per 100 ml drinking water. So these are the water quality parameters to ensure the water safety level. Then comes soil pollution. So again, soil pollution is the contamination of soil by harmful chemicals, heavy metals, waste, or so even I have like more like Wikipedia something. I have read about the tin Pepsi, tin Coke and all, no, the aluminum tin can. If we are going to just throw it away on the soil, even after 500 years also, that particular tin can would not degrade or decompose. Similarly, plastic also. So these are the very dangerous things which affect the soil quality. So if these elements are present in the soil, they distract or disrupt the flow of water, which in turn affects the plant growth. So soil pollution is a silent but deadly environmental threat. Its impacts are long-term and far-reaching, affecting human health, food security and biodiversity. So this, in order to effectively manage this particular soil pollution, it demands sustainable agricultural practices, proper waste disposal, strict regulation of hazardous substances, community awareness and participation. So what are the major soil pollutants? First, heavy metals, like I said, no, aluminum, tin can and all those things. Then pesticides and herbicides. Nowadays we are using artificial pesticides and herbicides, all those things. And then hydrocarbons. So methane extract la pannumbodhu there are certain hydrocarbons are getting mixed with the soil. And then plastics and polymers. Lastly, pathogens. Here also there are certain viruses and chemicals, small microbes act as a soil pollutants. So see, here also there are certain indicators or quality parameters. pH level, acidity or alkalinity of the soil. So here they have not given the ratio. Rather, what are all the indicators are there? Organic carbon content. So this indicates the soil fertility level. Then cation exchange capacity, that is nutrient holding capacity, and then heavy metal concentration indicates contamination. So these are the indicators of soil pollution. Next, noise pollution. So wherever in cities today, the honking of horns and the various vehicle sounds, all those things create a noise pollution or sound pollution. So this refers to the unwanted or harmful sound that disrupts the natural balance and affects the health and well-being of humans, animals and the environment. So the WHO, World Health Organization, defines noise above 65 decibels as noise pollution. Prolonged exposure to sounds above 85 decibel can cause permanent hearing loss. Noise pollution is often an overlooked environmental issue, yet it has serious consequences for human health, productivity and ecological balance. So because of this, we have to have a proper idea on how prolonged, even the continuous use of cell phones, headphones, speakers, all those things also cause certain problems. So sources of noise pollution. First is industrial. If you are near to industrial area, the continuous production sound itself would create a large amount of decibels in sound. Next, transportation and then construction activities. Fourth one is domestic resources. Lastly, social and religious activities. So simple as well, just remember the Endran movie where the song Chellata Mariata and the scene varula. So that is also a kind of noise pollution only. So these are the sources of noise pollution. So measurement of noise. So 0 decibel is barely audible. 30 decibel is whisper. That is 60 decibel is normal conversation. 85 decibel is risk threshold for long term exposure. 120 decibel is threshold of pain. நீங்க 120 decibel கொஞ்ச நேரம் கேட்டீங்கன்னாவே உங்க காதுல இருந்து ரத்தம் வந்து உங்களுடைய காதுகள் ஆர் செவிகள் செவிடாக போக வாய்ப்பு உள்ளது. அதனால these are the different kinds of decibels which define the measurement of noise. So permissible noise levels in India as per CPCB. Daytime, see here, daytime, that is 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So they have given here. Industrial area 75 decibel and 70, and commercial area 65, 55, residential area 55, 45. Silent zones. So these are the very important zones, that is hospital, schools, all these areas. They are in daytime 50 decibel, in night time 40 decibel only. So that is equal to whispering. So these are the permissible noise levels in India. Then now we are entering into the waste and its management, that is waste management. So waste refers to any material that is discarded, unwanted or no longer useful in its current form. So this can originate from home, industries, agriculture, construction and healthcare activities. So hence waste management is the collection, transport, processing, recycling or disposal of waste materials in a safe, efficient and environmentally sustainable manner. So here just we are processing the waste without getting affected us we get affected as well as the without affecting of the environment. So waste management requires such a tedious process. Nowadays, even they are considered as a somewhat a study itself. So now we are moving into different kinds of waste. So types of waste. So I have not given explanation for each thing because I think you guys know this, because I don't want to repeat whatever you guys already know. Like I said, if you are not satisfied with the slides, you can feel free to ask me. I will give the explanation or provide any kind of notes. So here, these are categories of waste. First is urban, industrial, biomedical, e-waste. So urban and industrial again classified into solid and liquid. So urban solid itself, municipal solid waste and construction and demolition. Liquid, sewage and sludge. In industrial, hazardous and non-hazardous. Liquid is industrial wastewater. So see here, urban, this is the area where we living humans come under. So municipal solid waste, where nama kuppa kotromla, andha dhaan idu. Next, construction and demolition. Whenever any kind of building demolition happens, the rubbles and the waste particles are not completely taken away. So there they could be considered as a waste. Next, sewage and sludge. நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய எக்ஸ்கிரீஷன்ஸ், அந்த சாக்கடைகள், அதெல்லாம் வந்து லிக்விட்ல sewage and sludge. இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல்ல பார்க்கும்போது hazardous and non hazardous. So hazardous waste is various chemicals. நம்ம I think again I am giving you an example of மிருதன் படத்துல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸ்டார்டிங்ல there will be radioactive waste which is known as hazardous waste due to any like what to say, the dog will drink and then it will bite the person, the chain reaction will happen. So those things are hazardous waste. Now non-hazardous waste. Non-hazardous is they won't have that much effect regarding that. Still they are very problematic one. So நம்ம குப்பை கிடங்குல வந்து ஃபேக்டரிஸ் கொண்டு போய் போட்டுறாங்கல்ல, so those things are called non-hazardous. Then liquid is industrial waste water. நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி rivers, lakes la வந்து if they are excreting that water, that particular industrial waste water is in liquid form. And then biomedical வந்து நம்ம ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல and யூஸ் பண்ற various syringes, cartons, bloody things and what to say, the medical tablets, all those things, no. So all those things comes under biomedical. E-waste is, so நம்ம cell phone, laptops, systems, any kind of electronic devices, when we are discarding, we are not completely destroying them, rather we are just disposing them. Whatever waste accumulated because of that, all those things are called e-waste, that is electronic waste. So these are the categories of waste. Next is climate change. So நம்ம நேத்தே பார்த்த மாதிரி climate change is the most urgent environmental challenge of our time. Actually there are various debates are happening around the world that the authenticity of this particular climate change factor is still in debate, because some people there are some people who are claiming climate change is a hoax, that is a fake one. So how we do know that? But if we enter into that particular debate, we might enter into the political thing, so I don't want to go there. Still, climate change, that is like yesterday I told, no, in our grandparents period, that is era, they can predict or they can assume at this time rain will fall and this time there will be heavy rainfall and this time it will be summer. But nowadays we cannot, even with the high-tech equipments, we cannot predict the accurate form of climate change. So this affects every aspect of life, health, food, water, biodiversity and economy. So because of this, a combination of policy, science, technology and community action is essential for a sustainable and climate resilient future. So climate change refers to long-term alterations in temperature, precipitation, wind patterns and other elements of the Earth's climate system primarily caused by human activities and natural processes. So see here, whenever you are talking about climate change, there will be also a global warming. That term will be intertwined with that, but both are different. Global warming refers to the rise in Earth's average surface temperature. Please note this. So global warming is the rise in Earth's average surface temperature, whereas climate change includes global warming plus changes in weather patterns, rainfall, sea levels, etc. All the changes are comprised into the single term, that is climate change. So global warming is different, climate change is different. So major greenhouse gases, I think you all know about greenhouse gases, that's why I have not put the slide for any explanation for that particular term. So the gases which trap the heat below the ozone layer is known as greenhouse gases. So these are the various greenhouse gases mainly. So carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons or hydrofluorocarbons. So here please note, I have given the source of such greenhouse gas and global warming potential, how they can increase the risk of that global warming. So carbon dioxide could be obtained from fossil fuel combustion. Fossil fuel means like the petroleum, diesel, all those things, and then deforestation. So here GWP is 1. Methane occurs in the agriculture, landfills, oil and gas. So agriculture la kuda yen solranga, when in order to do agriculture, you guys have to plow the field or create some pits, no? Because of that, you can or you may inadvertently open up a locked methane inside the ground or under the ground. So that's why even like oil and gas also, that drilling machines, they indirectly release the methane thing. Next, nitrous oxide, where it is formed, the source is fertilizers, animal waste and combustion. Last is chlorofluorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons. These are refrigerants. Nama AC, fridge la use pandrola, all those things. And then aerosols. So because CFCs are banned, so aerosols is somewhat the particles or pollutants being emitted. So factory la vandu neenga pathina, when you are burning a certain thing, even nelludiya umi, that husk of wheat, burning of that particular husk also creates some kind of CFCs. So that particular air particles, when smoke is arising, those air particles are called aerosols. See, those things have the largest global warming potential, that is from 1000 to 10,000 plus. So these are the major greenhouse gases. So now entering into the socio-economic dimensions of climate change. Actually, they have given the people websites and the ChatGPT. When I have visited, I got various kinds of sectors where they have certain changes, but I think there is no proper way we could have increased the number of slides without much content. So generally, climate change does not affect all people equally. That is the first thing. So this intertwined mainly with inequality, poverty, livelihoods, food security, health and migration. So simple as well, African countries, Philippines, even in India, so many slums are there, and even some of the regions I have heard where there are so many factories. So that place also have a very high problem in either water or any kind of livelihood. So all these things happen, no? This imbalancedly separately, imbalancedly across, that is all the areas, it is imbalancedly separated or spreaded. So that was the term I was trying to use. So it is inadvertently or imbalancedly spreaded across the different areas. So that's why there is a high socio-economic problem because of this climate change. So it shows that the climate change is not just environmental issue, it is a human development issue. So what are all the solutions? They might be equitable, inclusive and sustainable, focusing on protecting vulnerable populations, enhancing resilience and ensuring climate justice across nations and communities. So these are the socio-economic dimensions of climate change. Now moving on to the political dimensions. So whenever climate change is there, I think I don't know whether you guys have heard about. There is a, I think American company. I'm not so sure about that. So there is a company which has taken the tender to provide bottled water from Sirvani Dam, the Sirvani River. You guys know, no? Sirvani River is located in the Coimbatore district. That is, to be proper, it is Coimbatore only. So, a company has taken the tender for bottled water. So, what they are going to do is, it is similar to the Sardar movie. At that time, the NTK, Nam Tamil Katchi, they have protested for this particular tender. Why? Because this is the same company few years back has they have took similar tender in a Italian or Spanish region. The whole water body, that is that particular river where they have taken, no, that was wholly destroyed, and that particular area itself became somewhat like you say I don't know, you guys have seen Mad Max type. So scarcity of water, poverty ridden region. So that's why there are some political parties, including Nam Tamil Katchi, they have been protesting. So similarly, whenever there is a climate change, it inadvertently plays a major role in change of the resources condition. So now the people with depleted or less resources, they approach the people with more resources where there might clash appears. So because of this, you can now take any kind of country, any country where it is a war ridden, the totally distracted country, the people from that country, they will move on to the different region. So there they will be deemed as immigrants, and then all the, their own problems will arise. So because of this, so many problems, it is a one of power, justice, equity and governance. So how we can avoid? Effective solutions require global cooperation, national commitment and local empowerment to create a climate resilient, fair and sustainable world. So there are certain agreements and treaties throughout the world in various years. First is UNFCCC in 1992. This main key point is Framework for Global Climate Action. Then Kyoto Protocol, it was formed in 1997. This binding targets for developed nations. First commitment was on 2008 to 12. Then Paris Agreement 2015. All, see here, this is the main thing. All nations to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, pursue 1.5 degrees Celsius. Then COP summits, which is held annually. Conference of parties under this particular thing, UNFCCC for negotiation and action. So these are the major agreements and treaties are formed throughout the world. So there are certain political challenges in climate action. First is lack of political will, because when you see the same thing, like the Coimbatore area where I said it was formed with the support of so many governments. They could not have come overnight. So now, if we want to take action, that particular government ruling party has to have a will to protest that. If they are not doing that, then there would be a huge risk. Then greenwashing. Greenwashing is Nowadays, so many companies are saying, no, we are using only bicycle in our campus, and we are totally everything electric oriented without bus. But there are certain companies where they say one thing and do something, that is known as greenwashing and policy paralysis. Inefficiently, or the policy is not executed completely. Fourth one is global accountability. Who takes control of all the other persons or countries and then hold them accountable for their actions? That is a very key problem here. No country is willing to submit their own authority to other countries. Last is uneven burden sharing. So though they form a committee, but still one person or one country shares heavy load, whereas other countries does not try to support at all. So these are the certain political challenges in climate action. So that's all for today's class. Since there are so many slides, I have not given questions today. So these are the bibliographies. So that's all. Thank you.